Warning: the views and opinions expressed in this video are not those of a health professional. Please make sure to consult your physician before beginning a new health regimen. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome biggity back, y'all. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kelsi, and I'm here for you guys every Sunday and Wednesday to talk about my VSG. You're able to find the answer to questions you've been looking for, or it makes the path to choosing surgical weight loss that much easier. Welcome back to episode 2 of my Secret Sleever interview mini-series. On our first episode, we dove into the many burning questions I've been asked by several of you in regards to medical tourism and bariatric surgery abroad. In tonight's episode, we will pick up where we left off with our second installment of the interview. During our first episode, we were able to paint a picture of the many components that go into considering medical tourism. Tonight, we will continue to deep dive into this mysterious world of secret sleeving. Thank you so much for being here, and without further ado, let's get into the interview.
There was not a language barrier.
Okay.
I have to say that. I have to say that there was not a language barrier. My surgeon spoke wonderful English. No, for real. He spoke wonderful English. Like the team, everybody who was from like your phlebotomist drawing your blood, to your EKG tech, checking, your heart rhythms. Like, everybody spoke really good English. There wasn't anything that I couldn't ask for. I didn't have to pull out a Spanish dictionary or a Spanish app trying to translate stuff. But they knew what I wanted. They knew what I needed. And honey, there was so many times they were on top of what I needed before I could ask.
Wow.
That was just big plus. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Staying on top of pain meds, helping me walk, to just release some of that extra pressure from the surgery, help me to the bathroom. They were on it. And so a language barrier was not even an issue at all.
And that's really important to know. That's really important to take into account, that you don't have to worry about that language barrier being there. The next question I have for you, I think you kind of answered a little bit of this, but we're going to touch on it a little bit.
Sure.
How was your pain afterwards? And when I say afterwards, I guess we're speaking moving on out of the post-op phase down the line, maybe a week or so. And we're going to lump that with the next question. And do you feel you received adequate care, post-op care?
Okay, yeah. I totally get what you're saying. So, I will say, because I did have to fly, from San Diego, from California back to Alabama, even the flight coming back wasn't bad at all. It was just I was a little sore, but I was not in agony. I honestly don't even recall having to take anything for pain meds, just with that initial travel time frame, going back home or whatever. After the fact, now I will say, when I got home, if I didn't take Tylenol or something, I could tell the soreness increased. It was just kind of, it felt I know a lot of people in the weight loss community and would kind of compare to done 1,000 crunches. You're just you just feel really sore. It almost crippling to move a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
But it wasn't paralyzing. You weren't in agony. I wasn't in agony or anything like that. Very doable.
Yeah.
I just had to make myself move to just kind of work out that soreness, that tension that can happen. Because a lot of times if anything, the tension is what contributed the most of the pain factor. And what I mean by that is anytime, if say when you're really stressed, you may catch a lot of tension in your neck and your back area or something.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of like work it. You have to move to kind of work out that tension, which can, feel sore, it's tight. So you have to almost force yourself to move, to stay limber and stuff like that. So that's what I experienced, is just, making sure to move, to really stay limber, and just kind of work through that soreness. But the pain level, I mean, gosh, on a scale of 1 to 10, for the most part, stay about a week out, maybe a 3.
Okay.
If you didn't have a comfortable setup at home, because I didn't have a recliner, I mean, there was times I just slept on the couch, or something, because it was just a bit more comfortable for me. But yeah, it was very doable, y'all. It was very, very doable. In regards to the post-op care, they gave me a lot of information with me once I was discharged and I came home. I think I actually still have some of that with me, but they definitely gave me a thorough list of medication do's and don'ts. They gave me information on when I should go back to work, return back to work and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, the most important thing was your post-op diet instructions. One thing about that, y'all, every surgeon, every doctor is going to be different.
Yep, absolutely.
It's literally, when it comes to your post-op care, it's gonna be similar for the most part, but there are going to be some vast differences, and that's one thing that just I can't stress enough. You're going to have to follow what your doctor says, what your surgeon says. If just because one surgeon may say you can return back to work in 6 weeks, that's not going to stop another doctor from saying they want you to go back in 8. It just depends.
Yep.
Everybody's different. So you have to follow that or whatever. Don't mess yourself up thinking, oh, well, she went back in 2 weeks, but now you built differently, so your experience is different. You may have to weigh it out a little bit longer, sis, before you go back. Don't rush it, So,
right.
Follow your post-op care, and I think they really took care of me. One thing I would like to point out, I know with me, and I'm gonna throw out this big ass disclaimer, y'all. It had nothing to do with the surgeon or anything like that. This had to do with me, my body, and how my body healed from it. So my procedure was done laparoscopically. So they made 4 incisions around my abdominal area. One of the incisions did not heal as ideally as the others.
Oh.
Again, that was because of how my body healed. It had absolutely nothing to do with the surgeon or anything like that. This all on me and my body, which I had no control over. So everybody heals differently.
Yeah.
But it healed. But one of them was the reason why I'm saying this is one of the incisions just took a little bit longer to heal.
Yeah.
So, and I had some clear fluid coming out of it.
Yeah.
So, of course, I brought this back up to my coordinator's attention, who brought this up to the surgeon's attention. And baby, they didn't hesitate one bit to FaceTime me, call me. I sent pictures. They were just they were on it, giving me all these recommendations. Thankfully, it wasn't anything that got infected and I had to go to the hospital or anything it was just a slow healing incision, point blank, period.
Yeah.
But the fact of even though I had already left Mexico, this was even months out, maybe a couple of months. That little sucker took a long time to heal.
Yeah.
It was stubborn.
Yeah, I feel
they were there. They followed up with your girl. Was are you okay? Did you do this? Have you tried this? They were very consistent and persistent in helping me with that healing process. So
that's fantastic.
They were awesome.
That's fantastic. I feel like the incision that I had that they actually pulled the remainder of my stomach out of, that one is still very sore. I mean, it's healed, but it took the longest to heal out of all of them.
And crazy thing is, the incision that I was referring to, that wasn't even the incision that they pulled the remaining part of my stomach.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, that incision is the absolute smallest one that I have.
Wow.
It was like, yeah, the absolute smallest, shortest little baby incision that they made. That was the one that they extracted the remaining portion of my stomach, the part that they cut off. That healed just fine. This was just. It was just one of the other laparoscopic incisions that they made just for the procedure. I don't know if it was the one that they used to like retract my liver from to expose my stomach. I don't know. It was just one of the ones that they made. But that little stubborn little fella just really gave me the fit. So it didn't heal ideally, but it did eventually close up. But that's just something. If you're considering surgery of any kind, I don't care what it is. If it's VSG, it don't even have to be weight loss related. Like you're just gonna have to deal with the scars, like post-op scars, and then at the end of the day, you don't know how you will heal.
Right.
Everybody's body is different.
Yep.
So it's something you just got to stay on top of and just really make sure you're taking care of yourself, keeping the area clean. Make sure you're cleaning with what they recommend. Just making sure you're not using crazy soaps and oils and stuff like that on it. Like, keep it basic. Don't be extra. Don't be extra with the post-op care. Like, let your body. Y'all know how we get. We be like, oh, we think we can put this on here because we've used this on other areas before. No, this is a different situation. Don't be extra.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Absolutely.
Less is more. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to throw that in there.
Okay. Thank you. That was a fantastic answer. We're going to move on to the next question. And so this one, it may be a little intrusive, but I know everyone is going to want to know because that's just the question I feel like anybody asks when you have any type of weight loss surgery. To date, how many pounds have you lost?
Okay. Hang tight. Let me see. So I'm 5'7". My highest was 225. By the time I was done with my 3-day liquid diet, so before I arrived there, I was 211.
Ooh.
So yeah, 211. And girl, listen. Trying to think. I want to say my total weight loss, I got down to about as low as 145, so about 65, 66 pounds.
That's fantastic.
In all, yeah, it wasn't bad. And listen, let me tell y'all, that was about the lowest I've been. I mean, a little bit less than that when I was like, back in middle school or high school or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like a whole grown woman weighing as low as like 145. My mom was like, baby, I'm happy that you lost that weight, but baby, you look like you could eat a biscuit or something. You're just looking a little sunken in the face a little bit. So, that's just...
Yeah.
But that came with like the fast weight loss. Like, you do lose the weight relatively fast. Now, of course, everybody is going to lose differently at a different pace, but on the grand scheme of things, it is a fast weight loss. Like, you're going to lose a substantial amount in such a short period of time. So with that being said, you have to understand how that's going to affect your skin and like the elasticity sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you're just going to look different when you lose a lot of weight so fast. So, but yeah, I that wasn't my goal to get down that low. I actually was like, all right, dang, I mean, I could afford to eat just a little bit more just to kind of plump up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the area when it comes to just like weight loss surgery. I mean, you just kind of roll with it or whatever.
Right.
Until your body kind of just stabilize it. When your body is lost, like the maximum it'll lose in like a safe manner, then your body can just kind of stabilize from there, and then it's going to be up to you in regards to just what you're eating, how often or how much you're eating, just to kind of stabilize that weight frame. So
okay.
Or weight range. So yeah,
Well, that's
So
that
about
was that was a fantastic
65
weight
or something.
loss.
Yeah, that was that was um it was pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next question, and I think that this is, something I would like to know too. Um, have you had any struggles, and what was the hardest thing to
Mm.
overcome? Examples:
Ooh.
snacking, sodas, binge eating.
All right, y'all. Oh, we about to this the meat and potatoes of this entire interview right here. All right, y'all. So y'all bear with me because I ain't trying to ramble, but I'm trying to give y'all some good, just raw information right here. All right. To be as transparent as I can be, my biggest struggle was my overall mental view of using my tool, my VSG. So yeah, I previously answered, yeah, initially I lost well over 60 pounds. It did it for me, but I didn't do it for myself. And let me explain. The VSG did its part. The surgery did its part. Slimmer Me, everybody, that whole team, they did their part. It was a successful procedure.
Yeah.
Losing the weight, all that was successful. But I failed myself. And what I mean by that is I did not uphold my part like well past like that whole honeymoon post-op phase of just it's new, it's I got this new stomach, it doesn't take much for me to get full. Right. I'm losing the weight, feeling good, looking good. Like, I mean, I got comfortable.
Yeah.
I got comfortable, and I did not uphold and upkeep what I was supposed to do. I converted back to old ways. What I mean by that is like I just didn't keep my post-op diet and like the longevity. I didn't keep that up. I didn't uphold my part on that. So I started converting back to eating things that just weren't good for me, that weren't right for me, that I shouldn't have. That's when I started back like eating little bits of candy here and there, or hey, I was one of the ones that could actually tolerate sodas and stuff. Ooh. Like, the carbonation didn't bother me. I know. I know. I hear you guys. I know the stories. Like, they're like, man, no. They say after VSG, you better leave them carbonated drinks alone. Like, I don't care. But your girl, that wasn't the case. For whatever reason, and this is just my body, had nothing to do with the surgery or anything, had nothing to do with a slimmer me. This was my body, this was my body post-op, like post VSG. For whatever reason, I was able to tolerate it. I didn't go through the dumping phase. I don't know what that's like. I didn't experience the dreaded dumping syndrome. Yeah. I didn't experience that. I was able to slowly but surely tolerate certain sugars and stuff. It was just in small amounts. But those small amounts built like a snowball, just more and more and more. And with my mental comfort state, those little meals that weren't good for me slowly started adding the weight back on.
Wow.
So I'm on here to tell y'all, like, if you do not, like, don't be like me in any way, shape, or form. Like, you don't went through that whole process, the whole scare tactics of going out of the country for all this, dropping a couple of bands for this procedure just for it to kind of go down the drain.
Yeah.
My biggest regret is just not upholding my part, doing what the hell I knew I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I regretfully say, I practically gained all that weight back. I'm currently like 200.8.
Yeah.
So not all of it, but I'm shy like 25 pound loss. I initially lost over 60 some pounds, but here I am just a sheer 25 pounds, exactly where I was from day one. From like day one, hitting the internet, looking to find a weight loss option.
Yeah.
So if your mind is not right, the procedure is not it's not gonna do you right for the long run.
Yeah.
It wasn't a permanent fix, and I'm up here, my behind, really trying to convince myself, like, oh, I'm good. Like, this is I got room for this little bit of meal right here, or I got room for this drink right here. But all those little small calories added up.
Yeah.
Like, sure enough, it didn't take much, but it added up. And give it some time, and you still in that comfort, in that comfortable mindset, thinking you can just do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, when you want, it will catch up to you. So
yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And that's such an amazing, that's an amazing testimony. And you know, and I guess I can't see your face, but I can definitely hear the disappointment in your voice. And I understand, you know, how feeling as though you have failed, you know, can feel. And you know, and I just and I support you, and I support you in your journey, and your the fact that you made the step to do it. That's the biggest part. And you know, you can always, you know, lose the weight again. It just takes time and persistence. And I think that's the thing that I try to drive home on my channel, is understanding that this is a mental thing more than anything.
It really is.
More than anything,
girl,
you have to
that.
you have to get that mind together. You have to get your mind together.
You have to be fully prepared.
Yeah.
And there's times I really do feel like, and you can, I look at it this way, like, if anybody out there who is a mom, I'm a mom, you know, you have this mindset of whether you are planning a family or not planning, you know, things happen.
Yeah.
You go in with this thinking, oh, I'm going to make sure all my ducks are in a row, or I'm going to be mentally prepared to have a child or something like that. But you're never, are you ever really mentally prepared?
Yeah.
And then the reason I just kind of compare that, because I feel like in the same context, it's the same thing with weight loss surgery. Are you really just ever mentally prepared to carry on well after the surgery?
Yeah.
Like, I think, of course, we can mentally prepare for the day of, just like when you prepare for the day you're about to, you know, deliver your child or so. When you're carrying your child, you know, you got your diaper bag set, you got, you know, your hospital bag set with everything under the sun that you know you're ready for. You know, if you're being induced, if you're going to have like a C-section, you know what day you're going, you know the day, you know where you're supposed to be, you know what hospital you're going to, the day you're going. Like, you can have all those lined up in facts and have the mental preparedness for that, but you're just never truly prepared mentally on how to emotionally carry, like waking up in the middle of the night, changing diapers or feeding, or being mentally prepared for the exhaustion that you'll experience, because you don't know how it feels just yet.
Right.
So yeah, I prepared. I bought my flight. I flew to San Diego. I, you know, rode across the border. Like, I was prepared to do all of that. Have my blood drawn, EKG. I was prepared to receive propofol to go under, you know, under the knife, all that kind of stuff. I knew that, but I didn't know how to prepare myself to really take care of myself afterwards. Like, I wasn't prepared for the emotional part of, like, all right, like, you know, you got to stay on top of it. Like, put that, you got too much on your plate, put it back. Or no, you know, you're not supposed to be drinking soda. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, your body is tolerating it, but that still doesn't mean you have to participate in. That doesn't mean you have to consume it.
Right.
And
absolutely.
that just wasn't what I was as prepared as I thought. So, and that ended up, you know, tripping me up.
Yeah.
So I kind of brushed it off. I like I said, it brings me down, but I try not to dwell on it. I guess I'm at a point now. It's like, all right, let's go back to square one. Let's just start again, making sure you're eating better, just starting with like the basics of basics, you know, at least starting with that. And then if it's in the works, to try not so much to get a second BSG, but just like a revision or something.
Right.
That could be in the works, but
okay.
I know I have to get myself together if I want to explore that option too.
Okay.
So,
well, I support you in your future endeavors, and whatever, you know, you choose to do. I'm always there for you. I love you either way.
Thank you, Boo.
Okay.
Yes,
and the next question is, and I feel like, you know, you kind of touched on this, but I really want you to be able to hone in on it. And then we'll have, I think, maybe 2 more questions, and then we'll be able to wrap it up. Um,
Sure.
what is your overall takeaway from your BSG? Do you have any tips for the new sleevers or those considering BSG?
Hmm. Biggest thing is do your research. Do your research. If you are considering going to Mexico or anywhere international, take the time to research your surgeon. Like, check out their certifications. Check out how many cases and procedures they've performed. You know, take advantage of like free consultations. And again, pair that with your gut feeling or your discernment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you feel off about something, listen to that. Like, you are not obligated to pay a deposit to anybody if you're feeling uneasy in any kind of way.
Absolutely.
And that's if you're doing something international or here in the States. Like, don't allow anyone to pressure you or make you feel like, okay, you've had this consultation, boom, let's go ahead and book. Like,
right.
Don't let anybody make you feel like you're just a number or you're just, just another number in their book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Make sure the communication is on point with you and the surgical team or the coordinator, whoever is over setting up your consultation and your all of your like ins and outs and stuff like that. And ask questions. There's no stupid question under the sun. Like, ask. I don't care if you got to ask again.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're getting consistency from the surgical team and your surgeon, whomever you decide to go with. Do yourself that justice. Like, this is a big decision. I'm sure we're all have been on the fence of like, should I do it? I don't know. We're weary. We've never done this before, and you are definitely. It's definitely normal to feel that way. So don't ever let anybody make you feel like how you're feeling right now emotionally is like you're being weird or it's abnormal. Right. No, you have all the feels when it comes to exploring this type of procedure in your life or this type of journey and stuff. So this is your journey. You make it. So yeah, do your research, ask your questions. If cost is an issue, explore that option too. Like, I can't just ignore that part. We're not gonna sit up here and act like the cost isn't a factor.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Less than what I said, about less than $2,500 for me. Yeah, that was definitely considerably cheap. Was it a risk? Of course, but it's still going to be a risk if you're going to fork over 11 bands to have it done in the state too.
It's a risk. Period.
Price factor is that price factor either way is not going to guarantee the most ideal outcome either way, because at the end of the day, you don't know how your body is going to react. You don't know. It's just something you're just going to have to take the leap of faith on, pray about it, think on it, sit on it, however you want to look at it. Just like I said, that's why research is so important. Yep. You're not don't go somewhere and they just trying to charge $1,000, but yet their facility is sketch. They don't have a reputable website. There's, inconsistencies on their end in regards to communication, or they're quick to want your money. Like, don't do that. Yeah. Stay away from that. If it means you got to save up a little bit more and it takes a little bit more time for you to, have your surgery, it'll be worth it.
Right.
If you want your surgery tomorrow, but everything about them is sketch, well, just be prepared for whatever may happen. Right. Be smart, save up some more, and if you got to push it back to November, then so be it, sis, brother. Like, it'll be worth it in the end. Follow the post-op instructions. Ask those questions then. Like, stay on top of the surgeon and their team, because that's what they're paid to do in the end. Absolutely. To help take care of you and make sure you're good. So, absolutely.